Hey everybody, welcome to the StabCast. I'm Dizzle.
Hoo-dee-hoo! I am Mindy.
We're here in a new year and a new millennium, bringing you the StabCast for the 2025, and we're here to bring it by talking about some shit that we don't like.
And, because what better way to ring in the new year than to shit on some horror?
Yeah. It's always nice to complain, and that's what we do best, and that's what we're here to do. So
we are critics through and through. There is stuff that we like, and then there's stuff that we don't like.
And we do a lot of praising on this channel, but tonight we figured it'd be a good opportunity to talk about some of the horror movies that we aren't fans of. Yeah. So tonight is mine and Mindy's individual top 10 worst horror movies of all time.
Yes.
According to us.
Exactly. It's our own opinion. I just told everybody on the other social media is that it is all of just mine and his opinion.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, we're probably even going to argue about what we put down.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's honest. And that's completely 100% honest. That's probably what's going to end up happening. So don't be surprised if we end up debating each other too. Yeah. So if you do not agree with any of these, it's fine. Feel free to speak out. Feel free to drop a comment, do anything. That's fine.
Yeah.
Comment it through us, through TikTok Live. That's fine.
Talk about what you like.
Talk about what you don't like. Talk about what you like. Maybe there's one that we don't like that you do. Maybe vice versa.
Exactly. I'll start us off. We'll get right into it.
All right, Dizzle.
Will you get me a bottle of water while I'm doing that, please?
I will.
Thank you. My number 10 worst horror movie of all time. And this one, to me, not as bad as the rest of my list, but this made the list because of how disappointing it was, because of how excited I was going into it, and how much more I thought could have been made out of the concept. At number 10, I have Hellfest.
Ah! Okay.
We visited on the show a couple times. We've talked about it. This is a movie.
I actually own it. I actually bought it, so I had it for him.
So there you go. It's a movie that I wanted to highly regard and that I really wanted to enjoy, but it was just such 2010 bullshit. And
they didn't use their environment correctly.
No,
honestly, is what happened. They did not use their environment to their advantage.
100%.
They had a lot of shit. So honestly, go watch Haunt. Go watch Haunt.
It's a better movie.
It's a better movie. It's the same exact premise, basically. Sorry, I must have cut your mic. No, it's the same exact premise, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, Haunt does have a tiny side story, but if you forget about the side story, it's basically the same damn movie.
It is.
It's just one used their environment and the other one didn't.
Yeah.
To me, that's dumb.
And there was one that was just all spectacle and huzzah and big budget shooting and filmography, and it was shot well, but the substance wasn't there, and that's what Hellfest was. And it might not be the worst movie. To me, a lot of this list is dog shit compared to this. I would much rather watch this than a lot of what I have on my list. But to me, it was so disappointing to where this should have been a 9 and it's really a 5, and that bothers me. Okay. So that's why it's on the list. What's your number 10, Mindy?
My number 10, you're actually going to find very weird.
All right.
Because I've loved this guy since he was on Summerlin. So it's very upsetting to a lot of people to hear me say this. But the Firestarter that was remade, the remake of Firestarter, starring my man Zac Efron. I love you, Zach. I do. I love you with all my heart.
Zach's on the worst.
All my heart and all my soul. But that movie sucked, dude. It sucked. It was absolutely horrible. Thank you, guys. It was absolutely awful. It was dog shit. I couldn't even watch the whole thing, Daniel. It didn't even make my 15-minute rule, son.
You hated it.
I hated it.
You fucking hated it.
I have a 15-minute rule. Everyone probably knows this at this point, unless you're brand new. I have a 15-minute rule. And if you don't have my attention in 15 minutes, you're done.
You're a prick.
It's a rule, okay? Which we exercise together, too. So,
well, I try to give it at least.
Yourself.
I give it a half hour.
Yeah, he gives it 30 minutes. He's a little bit more generous than I am. I'm 15 minutes, you're done.
If it doesn't grab you, you're out of here.
But yeah, it's just, I wanted the entire time, I just wanted to watch the original Firestarter.
Yeah.
honestly, I had that thing in like a little corner of the screen for 15 minutes, and I was legit looking for the original Firestarter so I could watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to watch this bullshit. I don't like it. I mean, so far I haven't liked any of Stephen King's remakes.
Well, and I think remakes might be a thing we see on this list, both of our lists.
Exactly. But the Firestarter remake with Zac Efron, I love you, Zach. I really do. Daniel loves you too. We used to get down with High School Musical when we were children.
We're all in this together.
We're all in this together, Zac Efron. We love you. But oh my God, did you come out with a horrible movie?
Gotta get your head
in the game.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this as well.
Up top.
I can see why this was on your list. Yeah. My number 9 is also a remake, and it's one of the worst. A lot of people don't like. Japanese horror is something that's so well regarded and something. That
you're going for a J horror.
Yeah, but when you remake it, when American remakes The Ring is something that people really liked. So even though everybody knows that Ringu is scarier, a lot of people like that. But something that really
and they got 12 movies out of Ringu.
Yeah,
in Japan. I'm sorry, but they obviously did something right.
Yeah, they were way better. But one that completely missed the mark, it was just dog shit, is One Missed Call. And you rented this movie back in the day. Is this on your list?
Jake, that was the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I told you guys this is gonna happen.
Yeah, this
is gonna happen. So
Yeah.
it's okay. I have a backup. I have several backups. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Because this one is
just dog shit.
It's egregious how bad it is. Yeah. There's nothing scary about it. There's nothing that makes you, there's nothing chilling. It's not creepy. It doesn't have anything going for it. The kills are stupid. Everything about this movie just screams 2000 schlock. And it was taking a really good Japanese horror and just turning it into American filler bullshit.
Exactly.
So,
like if you can find the Japanese version, Tubi does that a lot when they had like
it's very good
foreign versions and whatnot. Go watch it. Seriously. I mean, there's another one on my list and I'm about to say that you should obviously go check out in Japanese. And that's going to be my number 9, which is going to be Pulse from USA.
Now you can see why I went
hated
first.
that one. I hated Pulse.
She hated Pulse.
Daniel hated Pulse too. We tried to review it for the show.
That's another bad one that's just
but it was just so bad. But like the Japanese one is just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like the Japanese one blows the USA one out of the water and buries it in the damn ground.
100%.
So honestly, as far as that goes, go to Tubi. It's free. All you got to do is watch a commercial or two. Go there, look up Pulse, make sure you got the foreign edition, and watch it because honestly, it's the best that you'll. It's one of the best movies you'll see.
Yes.
But USA version,
dog shit.
Dog shit.
Is that your number 9?
Yeah, that was my number 9.
All right. My number 8 is something that's based off a video game. And as a gamer and as a young kid, whenever I see these video game movies, even though they've been known to miss a lot, I get excited. This was one that turned out, it's not like it was a terrible movie, but it's just so fucking boring that it should be called NyQuil. And that's Slender Man. This is just it's the epitome of 2000. You have that too?
Yes!
Oh, Jesus Christ. But fucking, it's just, to me, it's the epitome of like 2010 era, even though it's like 2018, but that era of like bullshit fucking.
They did Joey King dirty.
There's nothing creepy about it. It does not capture the magic of the video game. It just feels like a PG-13 fucking waste of an hour and a half. It's just not a lot of fun. It doesn't utilize the Slender Man mystique or lore. And I think it's a boring
Honestly,
slog.
there was more Slender Man in the Lifetime movie that I watched, Terror in the Woods. Yeah. I would honestly recommend that before I would recommend Slender Man.
Yeah.
Like if you want to watch a Slender Man movie, because I think that's the one time Lifetime did it better. The one time.
Now you can see why I went first, Mindy. so I can fucking steal all the one.
Yep.
No, but Slender Man to me, it's another movie that like a Hellfest that should have been great. It should have been something that left people leaving the theaters like, oh my God. But instead you left it like, should we see another movie? This is kind of a boring Saturday night. So yeah, not for me. Slender Man's my number 8. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is honestly my own opinion. Daniel's probably going to outrageously disagree with me, but I think it was a copycat version of something that happened years before it.
Okay.
And I don't think that we needed that. I think we needed something fresh and something new to spruce up the series. So I'm going to go ahead and say Scream 6.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
I mean, I agree that it wasn't what it should have been, but to me, it doesn't touch a worse list for me, but I see where you're coming from.
If you put it up with all the other ones, even the third one.
Yeah. Scream 3 didn't even make my list. So, and none of the Scream franchise, that's obviously one that's close to my chest. That didn't make any of my list.
And I'm sorry, guys, that I'm saying that. I really am, because I really wanted to like it. I really did.
If we did a top 10 disappointing movies ever, that would be my number 1. So I can agree with you there. It's a disappointing.
Exactly. It was disappointing. Honestly, it wasn't worse, but it was disappointing. It was the worst of the franchise.
It should have been a lot better than what it was.
Exactly. I mean, they had the star power to make it as good as the one that they had just come out with. But honestly, what they did was they tried to do a Scream 2 and it didn't work.
Yeah, it did come off as a cheap copy. You're not wrong there.
So.
All right. My number 7. I have another remake. This is a remake of a John Carpenter movie, I believe. I think so. This is The Fog from 2005.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It is a remake.
This movie sucks. You have The Fog and you have The Mist, which based off the Stephen King book. And The Mist is fucking fantastic. Go out and watch it. When I was a kid, I didn't know the difference. So I watched The Mist one time. I loved it. And then I watched The Fog again, thinking it was The Mist. And I was like, what the fuck is this boring piece of shit? It was the most fucking...
Isn't that the one that has the kid that's from fucking the Superman movie?
Yeah, I believe
show
so.
Or whatever, Smallville?
I believe so.
Okay.
But it just fucking sucks. It's boring. It's not scary. And there's
So it's the Boogeyman.
Yeah, it is. It's close to that. It was between that and that on my list, and this took it because it's one of those remake. The original's not that good, and it remade. And even no offense to John Carpenter, but the original wasn't that great, and the remake was a lot worse. So I thought this didn't need to be made, and it sucked anyway.
Yeah.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is actually another J horror. And I'm not going to do a J horror. I'm actually going to do this one. I'm actually going to put down the Boogeyman.
Oh shit!
From 2003, 4, something like
2005
that.
is
2005. Okay.
You're not
that
doing a new one?
Movie. I mean, the new one comes close to being on the worst list.
That did suck too.
It did suck, but it wasn't as bad and as boring as the first one was.
No.
And at least that one, the one that we saw in theaters, Daniel, at least that one gave us a creature to watch.
Yes.
Like, at least we actually had something to watch. In the first one, and the original one with Barry Watson from 7th Heaven, he's literally running away from shit that he doesn't even see.
Yeah.
He's running away from nothing. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
So it's too long.
It's way too long.
To begin with. It's like an hour 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too long. You could chop 40 minutes off easily and just make it a 60-minute.
Well, and that movie had a choice, I think. It had a choice we can either be a balls to the wall, like slasher crazy movie, or we can go more introspective and more of a character study. I think they went more character study route, and I think it didn't pay off at all, and it just made it kind of boring.
No, it was way too hipsterish for my taste.
I agree with you.
And it's funny because it kind of did hipster before hipster came to the mainstream. But it's just, I don't know. I mean, if you want to see how bad it is, watch it.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop you guys from watching these things. I do own it. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it's here. But is it the greatest movie of all time? Fuck no.
We've been known to indulge in some bad shit.
Yeah, we have some bad movies. I'm not gonna lie. We
have good taste.
We have good taste and bad taste, and we have some movies that like one will be like, oh, "This is awesome," and the other one will see it and be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a fever?"
That happens a lot. All right, my number 6. This is another video game movie, and this one that's close to my chest too, because it's a zombie one too. And
I think I know where you're going.
This is one you might, but this is one that I never. House of the Dead. House of the Dead.
Oh.
It's not Resident Evil. Resident Evil is one of the best series. It's one of the best series of all time. I would never. A lot of people shit on that movie. If you shit on that movie, go watch this one, and then you'll tell me how good Resident Evil is. Okay, now I'm a House of the Dead video game fan. I have it for the Dreamcast. I played it with your fiance.
I totally forgot about that movie. You're right, though. It sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. Ass.
It's bad. They have a good budget, and it feels low budget. It's one of those movies.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad acted. The zombies look stupid. Everything about it is bad. And that's an arcade game. That's a classic. And the adaptation just sucks. There's no plot to it. It's just really not a fun time.
No.
And it's something that should have been, and that is like on lists of the worst of all time. Like if you look it up, like House of the Dead is considered ass, and for good reason. It's a really bad movie, and I don't recommend it.
No.
Resident Evil's miles above that, and there's way better for 2000 zombies movies. Like this one shot so low.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Mindy.
Okay, so my number 6, I really hope Daniel doesn't get mad at me, because he might.
All right.
He might. But there's a little backing to this. So I feel like this movie is the worst because it is the worst of its franchise. And I feel like the deaths were just mediocre and stupid, and the plot line was just stupid. And that's got to be Final Destination 4, The Final Destination.
Yeah.
Why are you going to call a movie The Final Destination and you're still going to continue the fucking series?
Yeah.
Like, we have Final Destination 6 Bloodlines that is coming out in 2 months. What the hell? If you were going to finish the series, that's fine. But don't call it The Final Destination and then don't finish it. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's bullshit.
It's bullshit. And honestly, worst opening scene. I mean, you totally saw the fucking race car shit happening before it even happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like this movie.
It was very predictable. And fuck it, I wanted to really, really just fucking punch that Hunt kid. I really did.
Yeah.
I wanted to just sucker punch that guy. And as unrealistic as his death was, it was sweet.
It was cool.
But those deaths are so unrealistic, like the car wash with the door closing and shit. That doesn't happen.
No.
That can't happen in real life. There's too many sensors.
I agree.
And shit. Like, people are running that shit behind the scenes. They're not going to let someone drown in their car.
No. It's a bad movie.
Just bad movie all around. I'm sorry.
Especially coming off a masterpiece that was the third one.
Exactly. Like, if it can't even hold a candle to the third one. No. So, like, when I watch Final Destination, like, when I go ahead and watch, like, a little, like, marathon, I do 1, 2, 3, and then I skip over 4, and I just go to 5.
Yeah.
That's how much I hate it. I do not like The Final Destination, because it's called The Final Destination. It should be, like, conclusive in some way or another, and it wasn't at all.
The franchise got tired with that one.
Yeah. And it didn't have my bro Tony Todd, so I'm a little biased. No Tony.
All right, my number 5 is another established franchise that people have a lot of love for that I could get attacked. But I think if you do really love this franchise, you should agree with me. Okay. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I think it's one of, I mean.
I like that one.
Fuck off. When you have a superstar franchise player like Michael Myers, and you have 2 great movies that fucking establish him and fucking Jamie Lee Curtis, and you have that relationship and you have that storyline, why say fuck it, we're doing anthologies now? Call it something else. Make it a different movie. Why the fuck? It was
always supposed to be an anthology, son.
The sequel, there was too much plot within the two movies to go anthology. It fucking shook people the wrong way. It was stupid. You could have just called it Season of the Witch and done Halloween a different. And I hated it. I thought it was absolute dog shit. It's one of the biggest missteps in horror history, in my opinion. Like, no, you can say whatever you want about Halloween Kills, and I have. I think it's a shitty movie, but at least it's a Halloween movie. Yeah, and Resurrection and all the shitty Halloween. But at least they're Halloween fucking movies that have Michael Myers in them. This movie fucking makes the cardinal sin of doing a Halloween movie without
You're
Michael
angry.
Myers. Yeah, well, it's bullshit. And someone has to speak up about this. So it's me.
That's actually your brother-in-law's favorite movie.
Well, he's an idiot. That's fucking stupid because this movie sucks. But that's just my opinion. All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5.
Yes.
I don't want people to get mad at me because a lot of people really liked this movie.
They might get mad at you.
The remake of well, not remake, but the requel of the Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna have a requel of the Candyman and no Candyman?
I mean, people know, if you're a fan of the show, you know that you hate this by now because you have talked about this movie and your disdain for it on multiple occasions.
People are probably really surprised I didn't put it at number 1.
Yeah, because I thought, as soon as we did this list, I was like, well, maybe he's going to have fucking Candyman on there. So.
I hate it. I really do. It was so bad. Like, it was very hipster, very new age, very modern.
Yeah, it was new age.
And it's not like I have a problem with any of that. I don't. But how you going to make a movie about Candyman and then no Candyman? Like, you're going to talk about Daniel Robitaille and shit, and then you're not going to show him?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's bullshit.
He knew I was going to say that. It is bullshit. It's bullshit. It is. And, like, Tony Todd, he did have, like, 5 minutes at the end where he did his monologue and shit and did Don't Be My Victim and whatnot. But go back. Do me a favor, guys, and go back and watch the very first Candyman, okay? And then watch the requel and tell me that it didn't fucking suck.
It blew.
It blew. Ass cheeks.
To me, that's a 7.5.
Right.
I don't hate it as much as you do. That's one we disagree on. I saw it in theaters with you. I liked it.
Everyone I know disagrees with me.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't get your
Everybody
hatred for
disagrees with me. Nobody likes that I don't like that movie.
But it's not the best movie I've ever seen, but it's not the piece of shit you're saying it is. But I
piece of shit.
It's the wrong. My number 4 is, to me, the most overrated movie in the history of cinema. I remember being with my boys, and we got this from this is back when you could still rent DVDs. It was one of the last of that generation. We rented it. We were so fucking happy. It was the biggest movie, and Mama. And this 2013 Mama. This was a big blockbuster hit. It had a lot of fucking money made, and a lot of people were raving about it in the town. And
they still do rave about it too. I don't get it either. I really don't.
I think it sucks. And I remember fucking picking it up, watching it, and thinking, this sucks. This is filled with bad CGI. The acting's not that good, and the premise is stupid. I don't know why it made as much money as it did, because I think it's a big piece of shit.
Everyone was like, calling it like the new Paranormal Activity and shit.
No
like,
fucking
no.
way.
Mm-mm.
To me, it doesn't hold a candle. It doesn't. It's the jockstrap. It fucking sucks. I'm not a fan
I agree.
of that movie. All right, Mindy. Number 4.
Number 4.
What do you got?
So my number 4 is a series that Daniel loves. And it's actually coming back out with another requel. Hopefully it does good. That has to be I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
This movie should be brought out back of a barn and shot. That's how bad this movie is.
That's how bad it is?
You know how bad it is. You were there.
I mean, I only didn't put it on my list because I knew it would be on yours. This is one of the worst excuses for a film ever made. And
yeah,
the
like
fact
we
that it
literally went out and rented it together.
Yeah, and the
like,
fact that it got the title it got, and the fact that it got to be in that series. And a lot of people don't like I Still Know It, and that's fine. But that looks like fucking a Citizen Kane compared to this piece of shit. This movie absolutely blows. It's low budget. The actors suck. The horror sucks. It's so
and then
bad.
like, so the ghost. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those you might have to watch just to see how fucking bad it is.
Yeah, and if you guys do want to see it, it is on Tubi.
Yeah.
It is available for viewing, but I mean, I honestly wouldn't view it. But I'm not you, so I don't know. But
you can watch it. It sucks, but you can watch it.
Yeah.
All right. My number 3 is something this concept has always been disgusting to me and something that I think doesn't belong on film.
Always going for the cannibal route.
Well, in a way, there's definitely something getting eaten. But I think it's one of the most disgusting excuses for a movie. The first one I think has enough plot and enough going for it to make it like not egregious. But the second one just fucking knocks up the sickness and knocks up the fucked up. I'm going Human Centipede 2.
Oh, you didn't need to go Human Centipede anything.
Listen, I work and I'm an adult in life, so I understand about eating shit. But watching it on screen, and when that Asian dude in the first one takes that big dump, and then you see her face, and you're like, ah! And but fucking in the sequels, there's even more people. This dude's sick. There's like 12 people. They're in a circle.
Doesn't one of them have food poisoning?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's a disgusting movie. It shouldn't have ever been made. Not like the first one. I'll give it to you. There's enough plot there. The second one's just fucked up. And it's one I go out of my way to not to watch, and fucking I never recommend it because it sucks so bad.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 2, Mindy?
Is it a number 3?
Is it number 3?
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Rubber.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone has ever seen it. Daniel, I know. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
You did see it. Okay.
Of course. I mean, that was the big thing in school. Like, let's all hang out and watch the Killer Tire movie. So.
And it could have been a very good movie, but I've literally watched it about 5 times, guys, and I still don't fucking know what it is about.
Yeah.
Like, if I have to continuously watch you to figure out what the hell I'm watching, that's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not a good movie to me.
I agree with you. That's a shitty movie.
That's a shitty movie. Like, I shouldn't have to continuously watch you, not because I want to, but to understand what the fuck you were getting
Yeah, it's not one of those psychological that it's fun watching and understanding. It's like, this thing sucks so bad, I got to put together plot holes.
Yeah, because there's like a focus group and they're in the middle of the desert watching this fucking homicidal tire that I didn't realize, but it actually has a name.
Yes. I mean, I have a special place in my heart.
Buddy!
I have a special place in my heart for this movie, but I do see where you're coming from. As a movie, it's not good. Yeah. But I do have a special place in my heart.
If I was in high school partying and whatnot, I'd get where you were coming from.
Yeah.
I'd be going down the same street. I'd be like, yeah, you're right. But
as an adult, it's a shitty movie.
Yeah.
All right, my number 2, and the theme, I think, on both of our lists, but I have a lot of remakes and I have a lot of sequels and shit, because usually original concepts are good enough to, whether it's a bad movie or not, if it's an original concept, I can give you a pass usually. This one took one of my favorite movies of all time, something that I love dearly and something I still recommend to people. It's not even just horror. Top 10 movies, top 5 movies. This is a movie that I love dearly, and turned it into an absolute bullshit fucking 2000s ass remake, and that's the Hitcher remake. Anything that can make me, I know you like it better, and that's one of the.
I don't like it better. I just like it.
It's a shitty fucking movie. And if you can make me,
it's not that bad.
Listen, I don't care if he's a bad guy or not. If you can make me physically hate Sean Bean, and not in he's doing a good performance, but I just
what
fucking
about the highway scene?
That sucked. It's way better than the original. It's kind of like we just put like Psycho with Vince Vaughn. It just puts that fresh coat of paint in the fucking on a fucking great concept, and it makes it a shitty fucking movie. And we're new age and we're fucking badass, so we're gonna have the girl be the hero, and the dude that we fucking love, and he has this big character development in the first one. We're gonna rip him in fucking half off a truck. It sucks so bad. And as far as a new concept, like they didn't do anything.
But you
fresh.
liked her in Stay Alive. You got mad that she wasn't the final girl in Stay Alive.
She's a great actress, and I don't think that that's her fault. But the movie around her fucking sucked, and she should have died. And the dude that they picked to play my boy was an absolute.
He was a pussy.
He was a pussy. And he wasn't like a pussy like the dude was in the beginning, and then he grows. He was a pussy the whole time, and then he dies. The movie sucks so bad. And I love Sean Bean, but he was nowhere near the performance of the man that was the hitcher in the first one. So
damn, you had some feelings.
Yeah, I feel
okay?
strongly about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel strongly about it. I might keel over. But I feel strongly about it because when you remake something that's good, it's got to be at least on par. And if it sucks, and if it's just you're not doing anything new at all, and you're just rehashing old plot points, and it's not even scary, I got nothing for you. So that's how I view this movie. I'm sorry. All right. What's your number 2, Mindy?
My number 2 was very well thought out. But I got to go ahead and give it to the Ginger Dead Man.
Oh, God.
So, guys, think of a little gingerbread cookie. Okay, just a little cookie.
That's Gary Busey.
And it's a homicidal cookie, okay? It's a homicidal serial killer gingerbread cookie. And it doesn't grow like really big until like the very, very end. And then put Gary Busey's voice on it.
Yeah.
Most awful movie I've ever seen, but fuck is it funny. It was worst piece of cinema ever. Like Zombie Ass. I was thinking between the two what one I was gonna put. Zombie Ass, Revenge of the Killer Toilet.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a real movie. Or the Ginger Dead Man's. But I decided Ginger Dead Man wins.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of blockbuster things that just weren't good or disappointed. I'm glad that you put the just stupid as fuck. Why is this even a movie on there? Because that's one of the movies that it's like, why the fuck is this even a thing? And this is the stupidest shit.
I told him that it was, and he's like, what the fuck?
Because it's just you put yourself in the room with the people, and they're like, oh, we should have a killer gingerbread man. And it's like, that's exactly what's going on, and it's fucking stupid, and it should never have been made. And so I'm glad that's on your list. You ready for my number 1? Drum roll.
I am ready. Drum roll it.
My number 1 worst horror movie of all time, and something that's just a bizarre project that I'm surprised got made, The Blair Witch 2.
The Book of Shadows.
Yes, The Blair Witch Project 2, The Book of Shadows.
Oh my god, this movie is such a mind fuck.
But not in a good way.
But not in a good way either. It's really not. It like fucks your brain, but in the worst way possible. Like rapes you.
Oh, okay. Well, your mind wakes up naked in a cornfield, regretting the next night for sure. But fucking, it's a terrible fucking movie that. You had everybody with the first one. That fucking was a pop culture icon. Is it real? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, what are we going to come with for the second one? This stupid fucking bullshit with an unlikable main character who's kind of a douchebag with a group of unlikable early 2000s teenage fucking. And just was so stupid. And it was everything bad about the 2000s movie making. And you had so much you could capitalize on the first one, and instead you just delivered this steaming pile of dog shit.
You hated it.
I hated it. To me, this is a 1 out of 10 movie. It's a terrible flick. I would not recommend it to my worst enemy. I think it's a bad movie. I thought, like, especially when you have goodwill from the first one. It's just like what I was saying with the Hitcher remake. When you have something that was so great, if you're gonna make another one, then it's got to be the fucking tits bananas. And when it turns out to be, something I leave in the toilet. That's what we're left with. All right, drum roll. What's your number 1, Mindy? What's the worst movie of all time?
Velocipaster.
All right, another dumb fucking shitty.
So this movie was ridiculous because you went from being very, 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 very low budget to being very, very, very Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then back to low budget again.
Yeah.
So let me put it out for you guys. We got a pastor. All right. And he has a loving family, or so you think. And you see his parents, they wave to him, and then all of a sudden you hear an explosion and you hear the guy go, no. And you look over, the camera screen pans over to where the car and the people were. And in place of it is writing that says, imagine car on fire with parents inside the car.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then he goes to his head pastor and he's like, I just can't get over this. It's just so hard. I just can't do this. He's like, go to China. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, that's what all grieving pastors should do. Go to China. And it's like, what? What does China have to do with grieving? What the hell? And like he gets into China and like somehow he ends up in the woods. Don't know how. He just ends up in the fucking woods. And he sees this Chinese girl that's being chased by these like other people, like poachers kind of thing. And she's near death. And she has a velociraptor bone in her hand. And he like cross paths with her and ends up taking it from her, and it bites him. And he's like, what the hell? And he brings it back and he finds out that it is a velociraptor thing, and he is slowly turning into a velociraptor.
Yeah.
Hence, Velocipastor. Stupidest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, I got drunk and watched this one time and
that was so fucking stupid.
It's a bad movie.
Especially because at the end of it all, guys, it turns out to be the guy's brother.
Of course.
But he never had a brother.
Of course, they try to put plot in that piece of shit.
And like they do all like the scenes all over again, but with the brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, this never happened.
It definitely deserves the spot you gave it. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
One of the worst movies I've ever.
Not even horror, just worst movies ever.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm glad you agree with me.
I do. All right. For next week, do you want another week? Do you want to do something else instead of the trivia, or you want to do the trivia?
We're not going to do the trivia because I got to wait to do that because I got a bunch of shit to do. But we're going to do the trivia not next week, but the week after.
Okay.
So, and that will be the whole network. So it's going to be kind of a trivia pursuit kind of deal.
Yes.
So that'll be really fun. But for next week, I think we should do a good old movie review.
All right. What do you got?
I was going to let you take it.
We'll reveal it on the TikTok later this week.
All right.
Give you some extra content.
Okay.
I'll text Mindy what we want to do, or maybe I'll go live myself. I got it on my phone, damn it. So maybe I'll inform you. But we'll let people know, and we'll do old-fashioned movie review next week. So tune into the StabCast. Mindy, this was a lot of fun.
It was.
Give everybody a big hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo.
And we'll see everybody next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.